Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with day 7 of 30 Days of Sketches, which is a series that Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life started, and Crystal from Pineapple Papers and I are also playing along with her this month. And so this one I kind of started with the sketch and I went a little bit rogue. So I am playing with these amazing cut files from scrapbook.com today. And they are called My Whole Heart, and they have these really cool heart frames, and they're sized for any of your projects, just like all of their cut file bundles are. So there's card sizes, there's bigger, smaller, and then there's a few other options as well. But this particular one was sized for 12 by 12, and all I did was decrease its size to about a 6 by 6, and then I cut it 4 separate times. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to glue all those layers together. And when you do that with a cut file, it creates this really cool dimensional element. So it almost makes it look like they're thickers on your page instead of just a flat, like, cardstock cut file. And then I'm going to take some Distress Oxides in kind of this like light orangish and light pinkish colors and add that to the top layer of that cut file. So I am going to link to that cut file down below, and I will put the names of those distress inks if you want to have those as well, because they are perfect for fall photos. So I'm kind of combining a few different collections together here, and I'm going to back part of the hearts with pattern paper, and I'm going to leave part of them open. And so I didn't show you that part on screen, and the part about this fun video that you didn't see is that halfway through, at that point right there, my entire setup broke. My camera went flying across the room. Like, this is real, you guys. Seriously. Everything fell apart. And so I had to come back way later in the day and continue with the layout because, you know, your broken clamps and flying phone is not usually a good thing. So then I'm going to go ahead and tell you that you're lucky that you didn't have to watch all that on screen because it was a really not very pretty video. I'm cutting out some pieces from this vellum sheet that came with Again and Again, and I'm just using those rows of arrows. So in the sketch, there were some like hexagon type stamp work in the background, and because I wanted to use a dark background paper, I decided I needed something a little bit different than doing some stamping or anything like that. So I'm going to use these arrows instead, and I really like the way that looks. I want to apologize to you guys because I am totally off screen a little bit, but I have, you know, a brand new clamp setup and phone situation going on. So now I got to get used to it. So I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so I kind of have the same placement as the sketch going on. So I've got my photo in that main cluster up in that top right-hand corner. I've got my 3 little areas that were hexagons looking from the sketch, and those are going to where my triangles are. And then I'm just going to kind of work on what little embellishments I want to use. So this is a picture that I took when I was in Chicago for a retreat last weekend. And it just looked really cool, the way the sun was kind of coming through the trees and bushes, and there was just a little bit of snow on the ground, and being an Arizona girl, you know, like snow and color changing leaf pictures had to happen, like loads of them. So you're going to see more. But this particular picture works really well with these really dark colors in the background, and then having that pop of like burgundy as well as that pop of mustard just added the right amount of color that really went well with the photo. And then having it on that dark background really helps it pop. So if you are scrapbooking some fall pictures or some like first snow of the year pictures, I would highly recommend thinking about using a dark background because it really does make those things pop. I am using the Honey and Spice sticker sheet and then some of Maggie Holmes Heritage, and kind of those two collections combine really well together. So it's going to give me some options of things to use. And I do struggle a little bit with the embellishments for this layout because I don't want to do a ton. I don't want anything to be too big. I am going to go ahead and go back to this Auburn Lane vellum that was sitting on my desk. And this is another really gorgeous vellum option. And I'm going to fussy cut a couple of florals out of there, which you would have seen with my old setup, but the new setup, not so much. So I'm sorry again, you guys. But I am going to go ahead and add these to my embellishment cluster down here at the bottom. So I'm throwing some little leaves underneath that first, like, top layer of the cluster, and then I'm going to put the floral, and I kind of play around a lot with where I want that floral to go. You guys ever do that where, like, you have to move the embellishments around and around and around before you decide what you really want to have? And then I'm going to grab some copper string, and this is like thread in this really gorgeous copper color, and create just a couple little nests of thread. So I'm just winding it around my fingers, kind of creating a little ball, and I'm going to tuck it into those layers behind my embellishments but above my vellum flower. And one little like nest of thread just didn't seem like enough, so I'm going to go ahead and add two, and that's going to really kind of tie in that like burgundy-ish color as well as the metallic on those arrows. And I'm not going to do a whole ton of other embellishing, but what I do is I play around and I'm like, there needs to be a title, there needs to be this, there needs to be that. So then I go ahead and grab, this is actually a Christmas collection, but I thought this little phrase, Warm Wishes, would be a really cute title. Just kind of with that comparison of the sun coming through the leaves and the branches where there's all this snow already on the ground. So I thought that was kind of a cool way to tie that all in. I am going to also add some of the little vines and things behind my embellishment clusters because that's just kind of a way to tie everything together. It brings in a little bit more of that metallic, which I really like. And then I went ahead and added that little border element underneath my title, and I think that that's kind of the perfect little addition down there. I kept trying to add more, and sometimes, guys, more is just more. It's not better, it's just more. And then I'm going to play with my absolute favorite new enamel dots, although my nails do not appreciate them very much, and so I struggle sometimes to put them on the page. And you will see me switch to using my scissor blade for this, which, you know, I don't recommend if you're prone to cutting yourself. But I do want to tell you that these enamel dots are about the best thing that I've ever experienced in my life, and I'm going to link them down below for you. They are from Hero Arts, and let me just say that someone finally listened to us scrapbookers who said, all the enamel dots are too big, we need whole sheets of tiny ones, because they have delivered, you guys. And they have sheets of tiny ones in all of the colors, and all three of the ones that are on the sheet, like there's 3 different sizes of each color, they are all small, like teeny tiny, smaller than regular enamel dots. They like literally make me so happy, you guys. Seriously, like Hero Arts is magical to me because of these enamel dots. You definitely need to check them out. And I'll be back to see you guys again tomorrow. Bye, friends.